I am on my login page and I'm going to go to the left-hand side in the blue column and I'm going to click on Map Growth Reports. And from there, you will find your student profile report. Once you get to the student profile report, you will be able to select which class you'd like to look at and which student you would like to look at. At the top of the dashboard in this gray area here, you can see the most recent tests since we clicked on fall 2021. This here is the student's math assessment. It gives you an overall RIT score, and then it gives you some general information about that student within that assessment. Here you could click on the reading to view reading information, and no language test was taken, and then you can click on science. Below the dashboard, you can see that there are 3 areas to gain insights on your students. The first one is comparisons. Under comparisons, we can look at growth and achievement. Because of the inconsistencies with MAP testing due to COVID, we do not currently have a growth percentile for this student or any of our students, but we can look at achievement for the fall. This student fell in the 92nd percentile, which is in the high end. You can also see projections for state tests. This student is projected to be advanced on the Ohio State test in reading for the upcoming spring assessment. It does have ACT and SAT, and there's also reliability measures such as Lexile for reading. So you can get a Lexile level for your students, which is nice to look at. The middle area here is your instructional areas. Of course, this is your literary text, language, craft, and structure, literary text down here, key ideas and details. Then you have your informational text, key ideas and details, informational text, language, craft, and structure, and then also your acquisition of vocabulary use. Now, they give you an area of focus for each of the students. So I'm going to click here. You will want to use the top of this dashboard to adjust what you want to see because this is a lot of information. Right now it's set on topic, and if you like to look at things by topic, keep it here. If you're more standards-based, you will want to click on standards, and it will give you information within a standard. If you want to look at all grades, keep it here, but this student is in the 5th grade, so I would just click on 5th grade to see what I'm focusing on. You can hide your learning statements and stay general. And then you may want to look at what needs to be reinforced, what is developing, and what should be introduced. So I'm just going to keep this on develop so you can see what that looks like. So it'll give me the standard. This is figurative language, similes, metaphors. It'll let me know the areas that this student is ready to develop. You can click on each of these areas if you're interested in learning more about what that student needs reinforcement in, what needs to be developed, and what needs to be introduced. You can create growth goals for your students or with your students by clicking this button here. You and your students can set goals a couple different ways. You can do it by RIT score. You can choose a new goal RIT. You can choose how much you'd like to grow your RIT, or you can do it by percentiles. In achievement, this student is in the 91st percentile. In growth, they are in the 53rd percentile. So this student might choose to make more gains in growth than achievement since they're already pretty high achieving. But that is up to you and your student. You can also go down here and write an action plan, what you plan to do to make that happen. You'll most likely want to focus on their suggested area of growth, and then simply click Set Goal at the bottom. At the bottom of the report, you can see a student's growth over the history of their academic career. As you look through here, you can see highs and lows of the students, or in this case, again, because of COVID, the lack of testing. You can also make some selections at the side. You can choose to look at projected scores in reading or not. You can look at the average achievement, the district grade level mean, and you could also look at state testing for this particular student. Another great feature in this report is that you have the ability to print and share. You can print the screen, you can do a batch report, or you can do a family report. I think the batch report is the most beneficial report. I'm clicking on batch, and then let's say I teach both reading and math, and I want to report that has both math information and reading information. Let's say I want to do the science as well. I'm selecting those subjects. I hit next. Now, this is the other data that I would want on that report. Since this student is in 5th grade, I am not going to look at ELA 1, 2, or algebra projections, or SAT and ACT. I'm just going to look at state test projections. I hit next. And then it asks which pages. I can get this student profile overview. I can look at the comparison, instructional areas, and growth goals. Now, if I am an intervention specialist, I might want to click all of those for writing an IEP or a 504, or if I'm a classroom teacher and only want to select specific students, I would absolutely do that. But if I am just going to print this for all my students to send home, you might just want to select your student profile overview and then a comparison like we looked at before. If you click on your instructional areas, you are going to print off every standard or topic that is given for that student, which is a lot. And you might want that for some students, but not for your entire class. Your growth goals, if you've set those, great. Put those on there as well. I'm going to hit next. And then it asks which students. I can click only this one, all the students in the class, or select students in this class. So if I'm concerned, or if I have conferences and I'm concerned about a few students, I could select that, and then it would give me my class list to pick from. And then you can create your PDF and print those off. It's a nice report for you and for parents to see, and the students.